Hey everybody, thanks for joining us on CodeChat, and thank you for coming back from this long break with me. As you probably know, CodeChat was on a hiatus for the months of December and January. My wife and I had a baby, and I had a nice little break with the holidays and the baby and all of that. But I'm really glad to be back, and I'm here with Amyr. How you doing?
Hey, how's it going?
And Amyr is with the Garage Group at Microsoft, and we're going to be having a chat about the garage. So this is going to be a fun topic.
Yes, so congratulations again on the baby.
Thank you.
So the Garage program actually started in 2009 out of Office. It was kind of a small lab that people could kind of tinker with different ideas to ship in the next version of Office. Fast forward a few years later, we actually started a formal chapter around the world. So we have about 35 chapters around the world in different locations, all across different continents. The only one so far we're missing is Antarctica, so we're actually pretty much worldwide. Yeah, and the interesting thing about the Garage program is it's a way for employees to kind of work on side projects. And we have three big things that we actually do in the Garage is one, re-engineering the core, supporting small-scale projects, and creating a hacker culture within the community.
Okay, wait a minute. So let's define those three things. What's the first one?
So re-engineering the core. So
what does that mean?
Think about changing the way Microsoft's internal culture is.
Okay, changing the internal culture. What's the second one?
Correct. And the second one is supporting small-scale projects.
Okay, great.
And your third one is driving hack culture, changing the perception of Microsoft.
Okay, and is the Garage an internal group?
Correct, yes. So we're actually a formal group outside of Redmond. We're in Building 27, and we have a physical space there. And we're also a community of basically people and employees around the world.
Okay. Now tell me more about, on point one, what do you mean by the culture and why does it need to change? And how is it changing?
Yeah, so we have a new CEO. And one of the things that we did last year was the worldwide global hackathon for the entire company.
Okay.
And that really was a kicking point for our entire team to kind of help change what we traditionally do. And this is something new that we're now starting as a tradition to continue this year as well in July. And as a result, more and more folks have gotten interested in what is hacking, what are kind of the things that we can do to kind of change Microsoft's culture.
Okay. Now, what we traditionally do, who we are, is a large company making large products for large audiences.
Yes.
And so this new culture includes that, and it includes working on smaller projects, smaller iteration cycles, right? And then this new culture also has this component. I mean, we all at Microsoft here, we all feel it. This new component where we're more creative, I guess, more kind of courageous and willing to try things.
Yeah, and so one of the things we actually started was a program to let folks formally ship their side projects. So we created Microsoft.com/garage, which is known as the Garage Ship Channel. And so employees all across the company have now started shipping apps on every single platform. So we're on Android, iOS. You can check out a lot of these projects if you go to Microsoft.com/garage.
Okay, can you give us an example of one?
Yeah, so we have the Tetra lock screen. We have some Xbox games that are out there. We have a few that are up in the pipeline. They're going to be coming out as well. Can't talk about them right now.
Okay,
but
great.
Definitely go to the website and check them out.
Now, I found an app on my phone called Reach Me. That I believe came out of the Garage. That's who it was published under.
Yeah.
So things like that. I might find a cell phone app. I might find, what else might I find?
Yeah, tablet apps. We have, the Bing team actually created something for Android Wear that shipped in one of the first cycles for this when we launched this in October.
Okay, so it's not platform specific.
Correct, yeah.
Okay.
And we'd like to eventually also kind of branch out and start doing future stuff and stuff like that as well.
What kind of stuff?
So maker projects, things like that. We're looking at kind of how to ship those as well.
Okay, and that's a component of the Garage that we can talk about too, the Maker Garage.
So the Maker Garage is actually also inside Building 27. We opened up this facility back in October of this year, and it's an entire space full of different hardware components. So we have everything from 3D printers to laser cutters to a sewing station, soldering stations, and every Thursday a group of Microsoft employees get together and they just work on their own hardware projects. I've seen Jeremy, yourself inside there. You built your son a little Jack-in-the-Box is what you called it.
Yeah, that's right. Let me just go ahead and bring that up. I wrote a little post about it just to kind of show the thing that I built. And And I like to work on projects, and one of the things I like about this is that it spans multiple spaces. Like I've worked with a lot of software in the past, but now this project, my Jack in the Box, this is just hardware. This is just working with wood, and there's a laser cutter in the maker space there. And so I made this design that when I send this to the laser cutter, it cuts this out, and then the whole thing snaps together and forms a little bassinet for the new baby my wife and I just had.
Yes.
And it actually works really great. We found out that it's nice being a rigid bassinet because we can bounce it and help them go to sleep.
Nice.
What other kinds of machines do you find in a maker space?
So a lot of folks have actually asked if you want to start your own maker garage, what kind of things should we have inside there? So definitely 3D printers are really hot right now. And then people always think about like the Raspberry Pi, the Arduinos, the Intel Edison boards. So if you can get some devices inside there, and then just fill them up with any type of small electronic or sensors that you can. Also, try to get out to Radio Shack before you can and pick up as many resistors, capacitors, LEDs that you can for folks to kind of use in their projects.
Yeah.
And then just your general tools, screwdrivers, wrenches, Allen keys. This is just a small set of things that we have inside our own space.
Yeah, and you can find some great stuff online. The traditional online shopping places everybody should know about: Mouser, DigiKey, Adafruit, SparkFun, you know. A lot of places online where you can find some really good components, hardware components. Awesome. Okay, so give me some idea of some of the projects that have come out of the maker part of the garage.
So yours was actually pretty awesome. Also, one of our developer evangelists from San Diego came up during the Give campaign to come and create a Give sign. So essentially, he created a sign that had different lights inside it, that each light would light up to symbolize a different level of a donation.
Yeah.
And he put up all that stuff on GitHub as well. So he cut out all the signs in our space, and then he set all the instructions of how he created the lights as well as a sensor to connect to his basically Azure surface that was running all that in the background. So
yeah, I have one other project that I've done that perhaps you've seen already. I call this one TweetMonkey, and TweetMonkey is a really simple project that uses an Intel Edison. On the Intel Edison, I've got some software that is looking at Twitter, and actually it's using Twitter's streaming API, so as opposed to constantly polling Twitter like every 5 minutes or so to see if there are any new relevant tweets, it offloads that to Twitter itself and lets Twitter look for relevant tweets. And then whenever Twitter sees that it's gotten a relevant tweet, it calls back into this device, and this device triggers this relay and basically makes this monkey jump around and playing his symbols. Yeah.
Yeah, I remember you taught this workshop at Device Jam. So if you're in the Seattle area, one thing we've actually started doing with some folks is inviting groups of people to come into the Maker Garage that we have in the Microsoft campus. And we kind of do an entire session where we show exactly what a device is. The Intel Edison is one. So working closely with our friends at Intel /Mashery, Rex is a developer evangelist who kind of helps run these workshops for us. And we just walk people through. So we've done, I think, about 2 so far. And we have more planned this year as well.
Yeah, right. Yeah, there's some fun stuff there.
Yeah.
Let's see. So ideas are the very first phase of any of these projects. Is there any sort of a facilitation of these ideas, the exchange of these ideas, when people are coming in and they're trying to find an idea, something to work on?
Yeah.
Or maybe somebody that comes in, they have an idea and they don't have any of the skills to make it happen, so they need to find people to work on their idea?
And we've kind of done some facilitation process around that. We use internally a lot of Yammer, and we have our own, I guess, emails is #1 communication device. To kind of recruit people to do stuff. Every time we do an event as well, we always kind of introduce folks in the community. If we see new people that have shown up for talks that we do, we have people go around and ask exactly what they're looking for and what they're interested in building. And those are kind of the small steps that we're kind of taking, and we're looking at other stuff to introduce as well.
Okay, so really practically speaking, if a person's interested in kind of breaking into the maker movement because they're seeing it happen all around them, kind of inspired by it, and they may not have any connections, any existing communities, any experience. How do they jump in? Let's say they're not in this area, so there's not a way to say get involved with the Device Jam specifically. But what else might they have where they're at? Yeah,
so the maker community is pretty strong online. Around the world, there's Maker Faire that happens. There's a bunch of communities up. One I'd like to mention is Hackster.io. It's a group of folks that basically put all their hardware projects and a step-by-step guide on how to build those projects. And then the best ones are kind of voted for, and people, have badges and things like that. So there's a little bit of competitiveness with it, but it's a really fun place to go and check out stuff. So it's Hackster.io.
And I should actually probably mention that next week on CodeChat, we're going to be talking to Adam from Hackster.io, so you'll learn a lot more about that.
Yeah, awesome.
I would also add meetup.com and look for hardware maker IoT, which stands for Internet of Things. That's another way to get involved. Meetup.com has lots of meetups in lots of areas, in case you don't know about that yet. And also look in your area for a makerspace. They have makerspaces all over the place, especially close to metros, metro areas. But in any given metro area, you'll find maybe a half a dozen different makerspaces that have some pretty good facilities. They're going to have the laser cutters, the 3D printers, let's see, vinyl cutters, sewing machines, maybe welding equipment, CNC milling machines. Of course, the whole electronic components and soldering suite, everything that you need there.
Yeah.
So.
No, it's a great place. And Hackster actually has a lot of those spaces around the world kind of already mapped out. And it's just finding communities like that to kind of start and then show up in person, introduce yourself, and start hacking.
Yeah. I want to give a shout out too to Autodesk. Autodesk makes a lot of 3D software. And most people know about Autodesk. They have a software package that's relatively new called Fusion 360 that I'm really excited about. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
And some folks from my team, we went down to Pier 9 in San Francisco and visited the Instructables warehouse, where they are amazing. They have an amazing facility for working on projects. They're doing some incredible things.
Awesome.
And it's really super inspiring. So you can play with Fusion 360, and Instructables, which was purchased by Autodesk, is a really inspiring site where you can go and you can see
projects.
Oh yeah, all kinds of projects. I mean, software, hardware, cooking, sewing, whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Cool. Well, this is a really fun time to be in this space. I'm glad that I don't know if you know, but I studied electronics in college along with software, and I always liked this world between the two. Where you're not just writing software or just doing hardware, but you're making things light up with the two of them. But ever since college, I've been doing mostly software.
Yeah.
And so now this is really fun to kind of come back and measure capacitance levels and calculate resistance values and all these types of things.
And basically, using I guess a lot of the stuff with IoT, helping to kind of inject data into devices that are not smart and kind of extracting stuff out.
Yeah, this monkey was previously very stupid. and now he's able to pull Twitter.
Yeah. Yeah, that's awesome. So if you guys are interested in checking out some sites that we have for the Microsoft Garage, there is Microsoft.com/garage where you can test out all the apps.
That's this one here.
We've got aka.ms/garage, which kind of just shows you a little bit about the story behind the facility and the program itself. And then you can also follow us up on Twitter at MSFTGarage.
There we go. Cool.
Awesome.
All right. Well, I think we've thoroughly covered the maker movement, Microsoft's Garage organization, and hopefully given people just a little bit of fuel for a fire for all things hardware and software and building things, right?
Yeah, definitely. So thanks so much, guys.
Yeah, thanks for joining us. See you next time on CodeChat.